I have an older brother. He was born first. My mother always talks about that. When I was young, I did not understand much. I only knew that my house felt different for me. I felt it, even before I could explain it. My brother was loud. I was quiet. My mother liked that he was loud. She said, boys should be strong and active. She said, girls should be calm and helpful. When my brother cried, my mother ran to him. When I cried, she told me to stop. She said, I was fine. She said, I was strong. I learned early that strong did not mean loved. It meant ignored. My mother often said she waited a long time for a son. She said having a son made her life complete. She did not say this to hurt me. She said it like a fact. I remember sitting on the floor as a child. I played alone with small toys. My brother played outside. My mother watched him from the window. She smiled when she looked at him. No one watched me. At home, everything had a rule. The rule was simple. My brother came first. When food was served, my brother sat at the table. I helped bring the plates. My mother gave him the best pieces. She said he needed energy. I ate what was left. I did not complain. I thought this was normal. If my brother broke something, my mother laughed. She said, boys are like that. If I broke something, she got angry. She said, girls must be careful. I learned to be careful. I learned to be quiet. I learned to stay small. My father was often tired. He worked a lot. He did not talk much at home. My mother made most decisions. My brother followed her. I followed too. Sometimes, I tried to help more. I cleaned faster. I folded clothes better. I hoped she would notice. She did not. She said, helping was my duty. She said, I should not expect praise. At school, teachers said, I was smart. I brought home good grades. My mother nodded. She did not smile. When my brother brought home bad grades, she said it was fine. She said, school is hard for boys. She said, he would do better later. I started to understand something then. My effort did not change my place. My gender decided it. I did not hate my brother. He did not ask for this. He accepted it. That was enough. At night, I lay in bed and listened. I heard my mother talk about my brother. She talked about his future. She talked about his success. She did not talk about mine. I did not dream big dreams as a child. I dreamed of quiet days. I dreamed of time for myself. I did not know then how this house would change me. I did not know it would make me strong in a different way. At that time, I only felt small. But even then, something stayed with me. I watched everything. I remembered everything. I learned how love could be uneven. I learned how silence could be heavy. This was my beginning. At dinner, my mother cooked meat. It smelled good. She cut the meat into small pieces. She chose the soft parts first. She put them on my brother's plate. The rest went to mine. The pieces were thin and dry. Some were only edges. I looked at my plate. Then, I looked away. I felt nothing. After the meal, my brother stood up. He went back to his room. No one said anything. I stayed at the table. I collected the dishes. I turned on the water and started washing. My hands moved on their own. I did not think about it. This was just how evenings ended. At school, one teacher talked to me after class. She said, my grades were very good. She said, I could apply to top universities. She said, I should believe in myself. For a short time, I did. I walked home with a strange feeling. It felt warm and light. I imagined a different future. At home, I did not say much. I listened instead. My parents talked about money. They talked about my brother's needs. They talked about work. I opened my mouth once. Then, I closed it. I knew what my mother would say. She would say, there was no money. She would say, I was a girl. I stopped myself before she could. Later, my parents told me their plan. They wanted me to work after high school. They said, the family needed help. I nodded again. I always nodded. But inside, something pushed back. It was small, but it was there. I did not want a big dream. I only wanted to go to college. I searched for schools alone. I looked for scholarships. I chose a less famous university. It was not the best. But it offered help. When I told my mother, she was not happy. She said, I was selfish. She said, I should think about the family first. I listened in silence. I felt ashamed. But, I did not change my choice. At that time, I did not think I was brave. I thought, I was wrong. I thought, I was asking for too much. Still, I filled out the forms. I sent them in. That was how I chose my path. I entered college with a small bag. Most of my money came from a scholarship. The rest came from part-time work. I chose classes in the morning. I worked in the afternoon. At night, I studied. I shared a room with 2 other students. The room was small. I used second-hand furniture. During breaks, other students went home. I stayed on campus. I worked extra hours. My parents did not visit. They did not ask when I would come home. When my mother called, she asked about money. She asked if I could send some. I sent what I could. At school, I focused on my major. I studied more than required for my classes. I did well. I kept my grades high. I finished college earlier than planned. My brother struggled in his classes. He finished college later than expected. My mother prepared a graduation party for him. She invited relatives to celebrate. They talked about his future. They said he would do great things. But he could not find a job. Months passed. My mother said the job market was bad. She said it was not his fault. She gave him money to start something new. She said it was a small business. It did not last long. Later, I heard about these things. I heard them through other people. No one asked for my opinion. No one asked how I was doing. After graduation, I looked for work. No one helped me prepare. I sent many resumes. I found a job in my field. The pay was low at first. I accepted it. I moved to a small studio. I paid the deposit myself. I bought basic furniture. I woke up early. I took the bus to work. I stayed late when needed. Each month, I paid rent and bills. I saved a little. My mother did not ask about my job. She said working was nothing special. My brother stayed at home. He tried different plans. My mother waited for him. When his plans failed, she said he needed more time. She said family should support him. Brother and I lived very different lives at the same time. I did not think about the difference. I did not see it as unfair. I thought this was just how our family worked. I only followed my routine. I worked. I paid. I lived. After I started working, my days filled up fast. I learned new skills. I took extra tasks. I changed jobs when I needed to. I looked for better pay. I looked for growth. I rented better places over time. I bought my own furniture. I planned my life by myself. When things were hard, I solved them alone. When things went well, I moved forward. Years passed like this. My brother stayed at home. He talked about plans. He talked about timing. Sometimes he said the economy was bad. Sometimes he said he needed more time. Sometimes he said he was thinking. My mother listened. She waited. She gave him money when he asked. She helped him try again. When things failed, she said, it was not his fault. Time passed for him too. But his life did not change much. I heard about this over the years. It sounded familiar. It always ended the same way. I kept working. I kept building my life. I did not compare my brother and me. I did not stop to judge. I thought everyone lived in their own way. As I got older, my mother started to call more. She asked for help. She asked me to send money. She asked me to take care of things. She asked me to be available. She said, family should help family. She said, I was strong. She said, I could handle it. At first, I did not question it. I did what she asked. But the calls did not stop. The requests grew. She did not ask my brother. She asked me. She did not check my time. She used it. Slowly, something felt wrong. Not loud. Not sudden. I started to notice patterns. I started to count. I worked full time. I paid my own bills. I built my own life. Still, I was expected to give more. Still, I was expected to help. For the first time, I paused. I looked at the years behind me. I did not feel angry yet. But I did not feel right. Something had shifted. My mother kept calling. The calls came during work. They came late at night. They came on weekends. The requests were always similar. Money. Time. Help. At first, I answered every call. I solved small problems. I sent money when I could. Over time, the requests grew. The requests did not come as questions. They came as demands. I started to slow down. I replied later. I missed some calls. When I answered, I did not agree right away. I said, I was busy. I said, I needed time. My mother noticed the change. One evening, she called again. Her voice was hard from the start. She said, family helps family. She said, a daughter should not say no. She said, I was different now. I stayed quiet. I listened. Her voice got louder. She said, I was ungrateful. She said, I forgot my family. Something inside me reached its limit. I spoke, without planning it. The words came out fast, then steady. I have helped for years. I helped without asking. I sent money, even when it was hard for me. I solved problems that were not mine. I paid for my own school. I worked while I studied. I never asked you to support me. You never asked if I was tired. You never asked if I needed help. My brother was always protected. When he failed, you waited. When he needed money, you gave it to him. When I worked hard, it was normal. When I succeeded, it was luck. You taught me to be strong. You taught me to give. But you also taught me that my needs did not matter. I am still treated the same way. My time is expected. My money is expected. My life is expected to stop for others. I am your child too. Not only your daughter. I matter too. The line was quiet after that. I could hear her breathing. She spoke again. Her voice was sharp. She said, I was selfish. She said, family comes first. She said, sacrifice is love. I did not raise my voice. I will help when I choose to. I will not give everything anymore. I will not explain myself every time. This is not anger. This is a boundary. The call ended. I sat where I was. The room felt very still. My hands were shaking. But my mind felt clear. For the first time, I did not take her words back. For the first time, I did not apologize. Something had changed. Not outside. Inside me. The call ended. I sat on the chair. I did not move. My hands were shaking. My heart was beating fast. Then, I started to cry. I did not expect it. I had said many things to my mother. I had never said them before. After I spoke, I understood something. I had been very tired for a long time. I had tried to be strong every day. I had tried not to complain. I accepted many things without speaking. I accepted being treated differently. I cried because I saw this clearly. I cried because I had held it inside for years. I wiped my eyes. I took a deep breath. I felt sad. But I also felt honest. I knew I could not go back to before. I knew I could not stay silent anymore. After that day, I thought a lot. I looked back at my life. I saw the same pattern, again and again. My mother asked. I gave. I thought this was normal. I thought this was how family worked. Now I knew it was not fair. I had given much more than I received. I did not hate my mother. I did not expect her to change. She had lived this way all her life. She believed this was right. My mother still called. The calls did not stop. She talked about needs. She talked about problems. She said, family helps family. She said, this was natural. She did not ask about my life. She did not ask about my work. I listened. But I listened differently now. I understood that I needed to protect myself. Not later. Now. One day, she called again. I answered. I spoke slowly and clearly. When you call me, only when you need something, that is not family. That is a request. I have helped many times. That was my choice. But it cannot be my role forever. If you keep asking in the same way, I cannot accept it anymore. I want a relationship. I do not want to be used. She was quiet. She did not agree. She said, I was sensitive. She said, I was thinking too much. I did not argue. I repeated my words. I said them calmly. After that call, I felt tired. But I also felt steady. I knew my mother might not change. I accepted that. But I knew I could change. And I did. I stopped answering every call. I chose when to help. I stopped feeling guilty for saying no. I started to trust my decision. Little by little, I felt stronger. Not louder. Stronger inside. I was no longer pulled by the relationship. I was standing in it. My mother still calls sometimes. I am still the easiest person for her to reach. She does not call as often as before. When she calls, her voice is different. She speaks more carefully. She asks instead of telling. Sometimes, she tries to sound kind. Sometimes, she asks slowly. I notice it. I do not comment on it. I answer when I can. I keep the calls short. I know she does not treat me like she treats my brother. I accept that. She protects him. She leans on me. That balance will not change. I do not wait for it to change. Family does not disappear. But it does not have to control my life. I choose where to spend my time. I choose who I stay close to. I give more time to people who listen. I give more effort to relationships that feel fair. I live my days with more care now. I move at my own pace. Nothing dramatic happens. Life continues. But it feels quieter. And that is enough.